If you think the Grand Warden is just a support hero, you're completely wrong. In this video, I'll show you how the Warden is capable of taking out more than 50% of the base by himself. And how you can beat basically any base by just using your heroes so your attacks look exactly like this. And this is the exact army composition we will be using. The only important troops are basically the Super Barbarians, the Wall Breakers, as well as the healers. The rest of the troops are more or less just decoration. In the Clan Castle, we have 4 super minions together with a rage spell and a poison spell, which you also won't be needing most of the attacks. And very important, we have both the siege barracks as well as the flame flinger, but for most attacks you will be either be using a siege barracks or no siege machine at all. Spells are also very straightforward: 1 rage spell, 2 free spells, 4 invisibility spells, as well as 2 earthquakes, and a Skelly just to distract single Inferno Towers, as well as, for example, the Monolith. But now we get to the important part, and those are the hero equipments. The hero equipments is what makes its attack strategy so incredibly strong. And on the King, for that, we have the Spiky Ball together with the Earthquake Boots. The Earthquake Boots are so incredibly strong. The Spiky Ball does not need to be maxed out. Anything from level 20 to level 21 upwards can work out. If you don't have it maxed out, you can just use the Giant Gauntlet. For the Queen, we have the combination out of the Magic Mirror together with the Healer Puppet. Healer Puppet is of course very strong, as well as the Magic Mirror. If you don't have the Magic Mirror leveled, then either just use the Invis or the Frozen Arrow. Both can work. But now we get to the equipments where we cannot switch around. And those are the Fireball and the Rage Gem. We need those. And on the RC, we need the Sneaking Shield together with the Rocket Spear. We cannot change this around. The Fireball can also work out if you have it level 21 or higher. You don't need having it maxed out, helps a lot. But if you have it level 21 or higher, that's also more than fine. And same goes with the Rocket Spear, also does not need to be maxed out. Anything from level 15 will work. And now let's take a look how this would work in an attack. So we have this very, I would say, old base from Itsu, from the time where I believe this was from his number 1 finish, from the season where he pushed his number 1 finish. That's where he used his base. Very simple. We put the Warden right here, and we take out the Archer Tower with 2 loons, and we want to land the Fireball on top of the multi-Archer Tower. So for that, we need to take out this Archer Tower, the Wizard Tower, as well as the air defense. Then we drop 1 invisibility on the cannon as well as on the mortar, 1 invisibility on the bomb tower as well as the scatter, 1 invisibility on the air defense, and 1 invisibility on both the mortar, single Inferno Tower, and the ricochet cannon. And from there, the Fireball will land on top of the multi-Archer Tower, and we get everything that we want. And that's also why we have 2 invisibility spells instead. I mean, that's why we also have 2 earthquake spells instead of 1, so we can take out, for example, the Eagle Artillery, as well as, of course, if there are any builder huts near the buildings, you can sometimes mess it up a little bit, so therefore having 2 invisibility spells helps out a ton. I sadly messed up my earthquake spell a little bit, so therefore the Thing Inferno Tower is still left standing, even though it should have went down. But now we send in our heroes from the bottom of the base into the Town Hall compartment. Now we of course use the Skeleton spell to distract, even needed a free spell, even though it wouldn't have been necessary. The C comes out perfectly, gets tanked by the Skeleton spell. With that we can easily deploy the Poison spell. Just look at these Earthquake Boots, opens up everything. With that, the Town Hall is also no problem. The Town Hall will be taken out. And now you can already see how we were able to swag basically our siege machine, as well as any of our troops. Well, most of our troops, because our RC is now capable of taking out the left side once the Town Hall is down. We used the ability relatively early, so she can outrange basically any of the defenses. That's what we have the Rocket Spear for, so she can outrange most of the defenses, like for example a Scatter Shot, like a single Inferno Tower, multi-Archer Towers, or a Ricochet Cannon. And our Warden, together with the Rage spell as well as the Freeze spell, will also be capable of taking out the top section of the base, so the ricochet cannon as well as the single inferno tower. And with that, we don't need our siege barracks, we don't need our Lalo, we don't need our second raid spell to get the 3 stars on the board. Very strong attack strategy. If you're capable of maximizing the value from your heroes, this attack strategy can be so incredibly strong. And just look at the amount of troops I was able to swag, or basically did not need in this attack strategy. Also didn't need my siege machine, so didn't need the clan castle as well as one of the clan castle spells in order to triple this base. Very strong attack strategy if you can make it work. Army link, of course, can be found in the description if you want to try it out yourself. Before we continue, quick reminder, if you want to purchase any in-game items like for example the scenery or a skin, then make sure that you are using a creator code. To support this channel, it would be code RHBB. That would of course be much appreciated. If you want to see more of my content, my Twitch as well as my TikTok are linked above. Feel free to follow me there. Let's not waste any more time and continue with the video. Now let's take a look at how this would look in a war attack. Only thing I switched around, I switched the Angry Jelly with the Unicorn on my Grand Warden. So my Grand Warden goes deeper into the base more quickly. If you have a war attack where you want to get the fireball deeper into the base, then an Angry Jelly is of course most of the times a very solid choice. Important thing, if you have like this small hole where you're going to put your warden in, then make sure that you are going to test beforehand with either a goblin or an archer to test if there is any Tesla, so your Grand Warden doesn't go down from a Tesla farm bait. Goal on this base was to get the fireball on top of the multi-auto towers, so we get both multi-auto towers, both poison towers, as well as the clan castle, monolith, and 1 scatter shot, which is of course a lot of value. So we need the Warden to take out the Expo, and once the Expo has been taken out, we can drop 1 invisibility spell for these 3 buildings, 1 invisibility spell for the scatter shot as well as the poison tower, and 2 invisibility spells for this right hand section. We need to take out of course 1 of the mortars, so we can drop 1 invisibility spell here, 1 invisibility spell here, and then of course 1 here as well as 1 there, and then our fireball will land into the core of the base. How exactly it worked out we'll take a look at right now. Important thing, of course, test with a goblin or an archer if there are any Tesla, because you do not want to lose your warden ability quickly into the attack. Now 1 of the super barbarians on top of the mortar easily takes that out, takes care of the mortar. With that we can take out the right hand section with 2 invisibility spells exactly like we wanted it. Now we just need to wait for the Expo to be gone, then our warden will target the builder hut, and once the builder hut went down, then we can easily land our fireball on top of the multi-auto tower. That's 1 invis, 2nd invis, 3rd invis, 4th invis, and our fireball will land on top of the multi-auto tower. I sadly once again messed up my earthquake spell, so I didn't take out the 2nd multi-auto tower, even though it should have went down. That just comes to show, even if you make a mistake, this attack strategy will easily work out. Now I just needed to wait to see, okay, is my warden going to the left side or the right side, because you do not want your warden to interfere with your king and your queen. You want your warden to take out a different section of the base than the king and queen. So king and queen now in from the left side. Sadly, my wall breakers didn't go exactly where I wanted them to go. But of course, we have the earthquake boots, so we can open up the town hall compartment without any wall breaks. Very nice, of course. My queen now messed up a little bit and didn't go exactly where I wanted her to go. But now Tesla farm popped up, we can drop our RC on top of the Tesla farm, and she will take care of the Tesla farm with her Seeking Shield, and then of course also take care of the multi-Inferno tower with her Rocket Spear, as well as of course the Warden. Now Siege Barracks from the right hand side just to support our Warden. We also needed a Rage spell right now to not lose our Warden. If our Warden goes down, that's of course unfortunate, but on most attacks, even though if your Warden goes down, once you've landed the fireball, most of the times you will have 3 stars. Now I just deployed my Lalo, even though basically I did not need it. Just look at the amount of spells I still have. Just look at the amount of troops we still have for such a little amount of the base. So once again, this is a complete overkill. We once again were able to swag a few of our troops as well as save up those clan castle spells. So we didn't need raid medals to once again donate them to ourselves. Very nice triple. And that's exactly how you want to use this attack strategy. Warden takes out one part of the base, other heroes take out another part of the base, and the RC will take care of the rest. And if things don't work out completely how you want them, then of course you still have a siege barracks, you still have your clan castle, and you still have a whole Lalo to take care of the last remaining defenses. For once, and I also wanted to include a live attack from my side. So a live Legends League attack, of course, I'm not that high when it comes to my trophies, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick impression on what you need to look out for when using this attack in Legends League. So let's take a look. Army, everything is completely fine. Also, our equipment is correct. Let's take a look. What kind of base do we have? Of course, not the best base, but now the question is, where are we going to land our fireball? Anything basically around the town hall is a great fireball value, but we have to look out. There is a lot of damage. But I think if I deploy my fireball early enough, I want to get him onto, I want to get the fireball on top of the multi Inferno Tower. We take a look. Are there any Tesla right here? Yes, there is. So I think we need to pre-rage so our Warden doesn't go down. Because look at how much damage there is. 1, 2, 3 invisibilities. Now we use the Fireball and we use 2 of our Earthquake spells. I messed up my Earthquake spells once again. I needed to drop 1 on the left and 1 on the right hand side so we can take out the Scatter as well as both of the expos, but it still shouldn't be a problem. We now want to use a little bit of funnel so our Warden goes towards the tunnel. We want our Warden to take out the tunnel. And one thing where we really need to watch out for is that Air Sweeper. That Air Sweeper can do a lot of work if it's going to push our healers away from the Warden, then the Warden can get a lot of damage relatively quickly. So now the Air Sweeper is on top of our Warden, or well on top of the healers. Now we deploy our Skeleton spell to tank the Ricochet Cannon as well as the single Inferno Tower. Wall Break works out perfectly. Now we need to rage. Now we also need to freeze so our Warden doesn't go down. A little bit of split on the Clan Castle, unfortunately, but still it should work out hopefully. Yes, Tunnel goes down. What's the Monolith doing? I think the Monolith should go down in a little bit of time, right? Yes, Warden takes care of the Monolith, perfect. Queen takes care of the bottom compartment. She will also not need any help, but we will deploy our RC there as well. Now we need to freeze. Okay, that was very close. It was very close. We almost lost our Warden. But still, that probably wouldn't have been a problem. Now we can also deploy our invisibility spell, our remaining invisibility spell on top of the Warden. And with that, we still have our RC ability, and we can swag out everything with this wonderful balloon parade. We also didn't need our siege barracks, also didn't need our clan castle. Of course, this wasn't a maxed out base, the base design was not very good, but it showed you guys a little bit how you can use this attack strategy to completely overkill bases and what you need to look out for when using it. I hope you guys were able to learn something from this video. If you want to try out the armor yourself, the armor link is of course in the description. Then also make sure to subscribe to this channel if you do not want to miss any content regarding the upcoming update, because of course many of you guys know there is a huge update around the corner. If you don't want to miss anything, then make sure to just subscribe to our channel. We will keep you guys informed. With that, I would say see you guys soon with the next video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.